Let's talk about momentum, among other things, with Newsmax TV political analyst Dick Morris. Dick, of course, is the author of the New York Times bestseller, Armageddon, How Trump Can Beat Hillary. Dick, we always appreciate your time here on Newsmax Prime. And we know it's actually a combination of things leading to this surge in support for Mr. Trump. We'll get to the general election in a minute, but underlying this, the latest poll from ABC News and Washington Post says Americans are now more trusting of Donald Trump than they are Hillary Clinton. 46% to 38%. Mr. Trump, for his part, has been pounding on that same theme of honesty, or the lack thereof, from Hillary all campaign long. But it looks like the FBI investigation has eroded what little trust voters may have had in her.
Yeah, I think that's true, and I think it's inevitable, given the mess she's made for her own life. These are all self-inflicted wounds. But I want to disagree with what you broadcast a few moments ago about the Electoral College. If Trump carries the same states Romney did, he'll be at 206 votes, and he needs 270, so he'll be 64 short. Now, the only one that's iffy about that is North Carolina, that Obama carried in 08, but Romney carried in 12. If you give him North Carolina, which I think you have to, I think he's moving up there, and I think he's going to capture that. Then Florida and Ohio put him only 13 votes shy of getting, 17 votes shy of what he needs to get the nomination. Now, if he wins Pennsylvania, which is 20, he gets it right there. But even if he doesn't win Pennsylvania, he's tied in Nevada, which is 6. He's 2 ahead in Iowa, which is 6. And he's within striking distance in Colorado, which is 8, and only 3 behind in Pennsylvania. So I think that Trump is well within the range of a path to 270.
I would concur, and I just point out that that little bit of audio in the electoral map came from CBSN, the bloodshot eye moving into a new cable cousin endeavor with the same ideological underpinnings as the rest of the dominant media culture. But let's talk polls, and let's show how that momentum has shifted to Mr. Trump. And we take a look at the major national polls, and essentially they're deadlocked right now. And again, it's a lagging indicator, but the new tracking poll from Investors Business Daily has the race tied at 44 apiece. ABC News Washington Post has it tied at 46 apiece. Rasmussen again at 44 apiece. So you see it there. But Dick, the real concentration has to come with what you were offering, the electoral breakdown. And again, one of the critical states will be Florida. Let's take a look at how it looks now in Florida. 2 polls out, giving Trump a 4-point lead. John Zogby, for his part, has said Mr. Trump has to win the Sunshine State to win the White House. These 2 polls look pretty good for the Donald.
Yeah, he does have to win Florida, but Florida is not enough. Remember that in 2012, Romney lost by 4.1%, but he only lost Florida by 0.9%, and only lost Ohio by 1.5%. So both of those states have to be a core part of the Republican vote for them to win, and it looks like they're doing fine in both of those states. But look, all of these polls, JD, are 4-day moving averages, which means you're now getting a lot of interviews just as the Comey announcement hit, and then you're not getting anything as much as you need to after it hit, after people have had time to digest it. If tomorrow's tracking polls show this race tied, and the day after show it tied, then I'm going to be really concerned. But I think that we're looking at a 4-day moving average en route to showing a Trump victory. And then there's the other element. Every indication is that black turnout is down. In Ohio, they had lines of people waiting to get in to vote, African Americans, last time, and now there are no lines anyplace. And if black turnout reverts to its normal form, which is 10 to 11% of the vote, not 13% of the vote, which is what Obama got, that's 2 points right off of Hillary and right on to Trump. And finally, you have the other fact, which I think is terribly important. Hillary is not giving anybody a reason to vote for her. In these closing days of the campaign, the only thing she has to say is, I'm not a crook, I'm not criminal, and I'm not Donald Trump. You have to vote for me to keep Trump out of office. And that's not enough. There needs to be a positive vision. There needs to be some hope, some inspiration, some sense of what's going to happen in the future. Whereas Trump is saying, I'm going to repeal and replace Obamacare, and he's trotting out an issue agenda. And I think that that's making a big difference. I don't.
And the other thing that's happening, Dick, there's almost a complete turnabout from last week, where Hillary had that smile on her face saying, let's not take anything for granted. Then came Friday, and there's been a complete flip. Now it's Trump, for example, earlier today in Miami on the stump, asking his voters not to get complacent. Here's the way he put it.
Show up early and vote. Show up early. You know, the lines are incredible. The polls are all saying we're going to win Florida. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Get out there and vote. Pretend we're slightly behind. You got to get out. We don't want to blow this. This is the one chance we have. It'll never happen again. It's not going to happen.
And one other thing that has happened, Dick, new ads from the Trump campaign. He's spending some money, and he's hitting Hillary again on her lack of honesty. Here is one of the spots just released.
The Clintons, from dead broke to worth hundreds of millions. So how did Hillary end up filthy rich? Pay-to-play politics. Staggering amounts of cash poured into the Clinton Foundation from criminals, dictators, countries that hate America. Hillary cut deals for donors. Now the FBI has launched a new investigation. After decades of lies and scandal, her corruption is closing in.
Now, he's offering that, I guess, as a closing argument, but you were just saying it was good to see him on the stump talking Obamacare. He has been dealing with policy specifics. Easy for you to say. In the 30 seconds that remain, let's get specific. Does he need to stay on the issues, or does this character campaign carry Election Day for him, in your opinion?
He's got the right mix. Go positive on the stump and go negative on television. That's what he needs to do. And remember that the lead that he's got now is not because of Comey. He took that lead, or tied it up, last week before Comey opened his mouth. It's blue-collar, white voters coming out for Donald.
You made that point at dickmorris.com. We also appreciate what you write for Newsmax.com. Dick Morris, as always, we thank you for your insight and analysis. Up next, the war on cops continues as two officers are shot dead ambush style in Iowa. Former New York Police Commissioner Bernie Kerik joins us to talk about it when Newsmax Prime returns right after this.